your person truly does love you, deeply, sincerely, and with a kind of intensity that hasn't faded with time or distance. In fact, even now, their feelings for you remain just as strong, if not stronger than before. Despite everything that's happened, they continue to hold you close in their heart. You may not be seeing it on the surface, and you might be feeling like they're pulling away or showing signs of disinterest, but the truth couldn't be further from that. What they're feeling is the exact opposite of what you assume. They're not running away from you because they've stopped caring, they're pulling back out of fear, out of confusion, and out of deep emotional vulnerability. Right now, your person is terrified of losing you completely. The no-contact period or emotional distance between you two is weighing heavily on them. It's not easy for them to be silent or act like everything is fine, because internally, they're struggling. They miss you more than they ever expected, and they're beginning to understand just how much you mean to them. They regret their past decisions, walking away, letting you go, and not fighting harder for what you two had. They know they made a mistake, and that realization is hitting them harder each day. You were not just someone who passed through their life, you were someone who made it better, brighter, and fuller. Now they're beginning to understand that your presence brought them a sense of completeness that they haven't felt since. To them, your connection isn't just special, it's rare, powerful, and something they don't believe they can find again. It feels like the kind of bond that people spend their entire lives searching for. You and your person might be very different in some ways, yet you fit together like pieces of a puzzle. They see now that this wasn't just a temporary spark, this was something real. Something meaningful. Even when they try to move on or distract themselves, everything seems to lead back to you. You're the one they think about before falling asleep, the one who shows up in their daydreams, and the one whose absence is felt in the quietest moments. They've also had time to reflect, and they know that they took more from this relationship than they gave. They were on the receiving end of your love, patience, and energy, and they now realize how much you poured into the connection. It's something they perhaps didn't fully appreciate at the time, but now, they do. They're starting to feel a deep sense of responsibility to give back what you gave them. Not out of guilt, but out of love and the desire to make things right. They know that if they truly want to be with you, they have to add more value to the relationship. They're ready to meet you halfway, to bring something stronger, more mature, and more balanced to the table. Your person's heart and mind are fully focused on you. Even if they appear distracted or distant, it's only because they're overwhelmed by the emotions they're carrying. They are tired of pretending that they don't care. Hiding their feelings has become exhausting, and it's reaching a point where they can't keep bottling it all up. There's a growing urgency inside them, a desire to come forward, to speak their truth, and to show you just how much you mean to them. They want to be the person who makes you smile, who supports you, and who finally offers you the kind of love you deserve. Being distant from you isn't something they enjoy. In fact, it's bothering them more than they let on. Every day spent apart from you feels like a missed opportunity to love you better. They miss your voice, your energy, your presence. The emotional distance is no longer something they can tolerate. It's gnawing at them and pushing them closer to taking action. And they are planning something meaningful, thoughtful, and heartfelt. It may be a message, a meeting, or a grand gesture, but whatever it is, it will come from a place of genuine love and honesty. They're preparing to confess what they've held in for far too long. They want to express everything they've been feeling, the longing, the regret, the appreciation, and most importantly, the love. They're hoping that when they do, you'll be open to hearing them out. They don't expect things to instantly go back to how they once were, but they're willing to work for it. They believe in this connection and want a second chance to build something even stronger than before. More than anything, they want to make you happy, not just in fleeting moments, but in a lasting, consistent way. Offering you their cup of love is not just a romantic gesture, it's a promise. A promise that they've grown, that they've learned, and that they're finally ready to love you in the way you've always deserved. There isn't a day that goes by when I don't think about you. In fact, I think about you just as much, if not more, than you think about me. You are the love of my life, and this truth has settled so deeply within me that I can no longer keep it to myself. I've carried this feeling for such a long time, and I've tried countless times to find the right way to tell you, to reach you, to make you understand how much you still mean to me. But the words always felt either too much or not enough. Still, here I am, trying once again, because the weight of silence between us is heavier than the risk of vulnerability. Lately, I've come to realize that I can't escape my thoughts of you. They're no longer just passing memories or gentle reminders, they're constant. You live in the quiet moments, in the loud ones too. You're there when I wake up, in the stillness of the night, and in the rhythm of my everyday. It's as though your presence has been etched into the fabric of my life, even in your absence. And I can no longer ignore it or push it aside. I feel a growing need to take some kind of action, to bridge the gap that time and distance have created between us. This isn't about rushing into anything or making grand declarations. It's about reaching out with sincerity, with honesty, and with a genuine desire to reconnect. I'm not proposing anything drastic. I'm not trying to reignite everything at once or pretend that we can pick up exactly where we left off. But I would like to initiate something new, something real, starting from the most fundamental place, friendship. A strong, trusting friendship was always the heart of what we had, and I believe it can be again. Let's not ignore the bond we once shared, the comfort we found in each other, and the way we could just be ourselves when we were together. That kind of connection doesn't come around often, and it shouldn't be discarded without thought. The truth is, I don't feel like my real self without you. Something about you, your presence, your laughter, your care, brought out parts of me I didn't even know I had. With you, I felt alive. I felt playful, light, hopeful. Your energy lifted mine. You reminded me how beautiful life could be, how powerful love could feel, and how two people could understand each other even in silence. And now, in your absence, I feel that loss every single day. I miss your love. I miss your care. I miss being seen in the way that only you saw me. I know things weren't always perfect between us. We're different people, with different ways of thinking, different opinions, and sometimes different visions of the world. But what we had was worth something. It was strong enough to survive disagreements, resilient enough to weather hard moments. I don't want to pretend those differences don't exist. I just want to believe we're capable of reconciling them. I believe in growth. I believe in forgiveness. And most importantly, I believe in second chances, not to repeat the past, but to create something better. Something healthier. Something more lasting. The more time that passes without us speaking, the more I feel the desperation rising inside me. It's not just about missing you, though I do, deeply. It's about the ache of unfinished conversations, of emotions left unspoken, of a connection that was never truly broken but just paused. I keep imagining what it would be like to see you again, to hear your voice, to have an honest conversation without fear or tension, just truth. That's all I want right now. A moment of truth between us. No pressure. No expectations. Just the willingness to show up with open hearts and see where things go. I don't want to keep living with regret. I don't want to keep wondering what might have been if I'd said something sooner. This message is my way of breaking that silence. It's me reaching across the distance and saying, I still care. I still see you. I still feel something real when I think about you. And if you feel even a fraction of that too, then maybe, just maybe, there's a path forward for us. Let's start again, not from where we left off, but from a new place, a wiser place, one where both of us can be honest about who we are now. Let's rebuild, not just for the sake of the past, but for the potential of what could still be. I'm not asking for promises. I'm not expecting perfection. All I'm hoping for is a chance to talk, to listen, to understand, and to grow together. Even if we begin with nothing more than a conversation, that would be enough. That would be everything. Your partner is fully aware that you have options. They know you're someone others notice, admire, and want to be around. Despite knowing this, they want to stand out as your number one. There's a quiet intensity in the way they focus on you right now, as if everything else has faded into the background. Their energy is being drawn to you in a powerful, almost magnetic way. This isn't just a fleeting feeling or a passing phase, it's something deeper. They're beginning to realize that no one compares to you, and this awareness is guiding many of their current choices. At the same time, your partner is going through a significant shift. They're making their way out of a karmic cycle that has held them back for quite some time, emotionally, spiritually, or even in terms of life direction. That cycle may have involved toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, self-sabotaging behaviors, or environments that no longer serve their growth. Whatever it may be, they're slowly but surely breaking free. This is not an easy process, but they seem determined. They're receiving clearer downloads from the universe, messages, signs, and intuitive nudges that are pushing them to evolve and take action. For perhaps the first time in a long while, they're being called to move forward without fear or hesitation. They feel an inner push to stop holding themselves back from what their soul truly desires. And what their soul desires is you. You've always had a special place in their heart, but now it's becoming undeniable. No matter how far they wander, no matter how distracted they might become, they always find themselves returning to thoughts of you. There's a kind of soul recognition happening, an awakening, and it's making them realize how essential your presence is in their life. You aren't just another connection. You represent something rare, transformative, and spiritually aligned. You awaken parts of them that they didn't even know existed. Meanwhile, you are in a very different place. You're currently embodying the energy of temperance, balanced, grounded, and in harmony with yourself and the world around you. There's a quiet strength in the way you carry yourself, a sense of peace and maturity that comes from deep inner work. You're not chasing anything or anyone. You're rooted, centered, and completely aligned with your own path. You've learned how to stay calm in the storm, how to choose peace over chaos, and how to create a life that reflects your true self. This energy is incredibly attractive, not just physically, but energetically. Others can feel it. They're drawn to your light, your confidence, your calm. You're glowing, and people notice. Your partner notices, too. In fact, they feel your energy even when you're not around. They sense your evolution, and while it inspires them, it also stirs up a sense of urgency. They know you're moving forward, growing, and possibly leaving behind anything, or anyone, that no longer aligns with your vibration. This includes them, especially if they remain stuck in their old patterns. There's a fear, quietly building in their chest, that they may be losing you to time, to distance, to personal growth. It's not that you've become cold or distant, but rather, that you've risen. You've expanded beyond the emotional space you once shared with them, and now they're the one playing catch-up. Despite this, they're not giving up. The longing they feel for you isn't simply emotional, it's spiritual. You ignite a type of soul growth in them that no one else ever has. You challenge them to see their own shadows, to evolve, to take accountability. While others may have enabled their stagnation, you've inspired them to rise. That's rare, and they know it. They don't want to let go of something that has the power to transform them from the inside out. They want to court you, not just in the romantic sense, but in the sense of earning your trust, your time, and your energy again. They want to step up and meet you where you are, not where they used to be. This moment feels pivotal. You're standing at a powerful intersection, between past and future, self and union, stillness and movement. You have grown into someone who no longer waits for others to catch up. You move forward in alignment with your own truth. At the same time, your partner is awakening to their own truth, and that truth includes you. Whether or not they are ready to fully meet you in this new energetic space remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, they are no longer willing to ignore the pull they feel towards you. And they are beginning to understand that to truly be with you, they must first become the version of themselves they've always been meant to be.